What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Humble Home, another episode of our YouTube channel. Me and Jessica. She's so tired right now.
It's 11 p.m. on a Saturday night.
Yeah, we just came back from dinner, but I'm making her do this YouTube video that we've been meaning to do for a while. It is 5 reasons every professional athlete should have a side hustle. This is something that Jessica mentioned to me a long time ago when we first started dating.
I created your Twitter account.
She basically,
It's like, what are you doing to brand yourself? And he's like...
I was like, brand yourself? What does that even mean? So she's very familiar with, being in sales, having to market, having to brand, having to really sell yourself in general. So she's familiar with these things and how to create that side hustle. It's a very popular word that's going on today. A lot of people are talking about side hustles, but luckily we've kind of figured out exactly how we feel like the foundation should be for a side hustle. So first, I want to start with number 1. Every professional athlete, your sport will not last forever. So you need to understand that you only have a small window of time in order for you to play your sport, but then there's always going to be something next, right?
Yeah,
there's
and I
always
think
a transition.
Right, and I'm thankful that you did have education. You went to college. You haven't finished yet. You still have like 4 classes left, but you really have, your parents did a really good job at kind of making sure that was the forefront. Of course, your sport and playing baseball and reaching the highest level that you did, and you've reached the highest level and you've played overseas and you've reached that highest level, but you also just knew that baseball at some point is going to come to an end, whenever that may be. Maybe not soon for you,
right.
But you really always have had that in your mind.
Too, as
right,
an athlete.
You could get hurt. I mean, there's many sports where you could get hurt. It could just not be working out in your favor, and I think that you've done a really good job at kind of being realistic, and I think that that's a trait that really sets you apart and sets most athletes apart from those who do become successful in their sport, knowing that there's life after sports. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and one thing that I like that your dad always says that I kind of take and use it on my side is, whether it's now, I've had 3 innings of baseball of my life. I'm 33, 3 out of 9 innings I've played in my life. Like, what am I going to do with the next 6 innings? So that's why you start figuring that stuff out while you're in your sport. Number 2 reason why you should start a side hustle as a professional athlete is this is when your name, your likeness, and your network will have its most potential, its most leverage, right? So we're talking about all the resources that you have really within the game as being a professional. This is when they really mean a lot, and you can use those to your advantage.
Yeah, using your platform right now, your name is in lights, if you will. So your name is recognizable. People are wanting to follow you. So letting people and allowing people in your life in a different way beyond just hitting baseball or, tackling somebody, I think just really sheds light on that you're more than just an athlete. I know that that's going to be another reason, but this is like where you can really use that platform and just showing people your life on the field or on the ice or whatever sport you play. So it's really just kind of capitalizing on
like the moment, short window.
Yeah, the moment that you have. Yeah, and I think now there's no excuses for that. Maybe 10 years ago, when Xavier and I met, there was an excuse because your social platform and, media wasn't as big as it is right now. So like everyone had an excuse, but right now there's really no excuse, especially for those young athletes that are working on, getting to the highest level. I think that there's really no excuses.
And I think you mentioned something important is like the social platforms. There's so many of them, right? Like we don't have to just choose one way to go about it. We can do the vlogging, the blogging, the TikTok, the Instagram, the Twitter, whatever it may be. There's so many different outlets that we can reach an audience. So I think that's really important to remember. And you do have an audience, no matter how many followers you have, or no matter how many supporters, fans, whatever it may be, minor leagues, big leagues, it doesn't matter, amateur, like you still have a following. So I think that's really important. Number 3 reason why you should start or at least have a side hustle being a professional athlete is it's going to help take your mind off of your sport. It's going to help take your mind off of that daily grind every day. It's going to give you something to go away and not think about, the day-to-day hustle of your actual profession during this time. You can get away a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think that it necessarily means, when we say side hustle, it doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be generating income for you. I think it could just be like a passion, something that fuels your life or fuels, your fire a little bit outside of your sport. Because a lot of the times, which ties into the next one, which you'll say, is like people think that athletes are one-dimensional, and I think that it's just one of those things that helps you kind of take your stressors out. Let's be serious. Sports are really stressful for you guys and for us as a significant other. So when you're able to step outside of your sport and get your mind off of it, it means that everyone around you is also going to be happy. So really just feeling that passion outside of.
Number 4 reason to have a side hustle is it's going to show your versatility outside of your sport. We're always being like evaluated.
But yes, it shows versatility in sports and athletes. You guys are put into a box.
Put in a box for sure.
Like you're only supposed to be good.
Like you're like a dumb jock, basically.
Yeah, you're only supposed to be good at hitting a baseball.
But we see so many athletes, and not to cut you off, we see so many athletes now that politics, business, like so many different other avenues outside of their sport. I think we see the importance of.
Yeah, which ties in every single thing that you just said. Like they're capitalizing on their moment right now.
Right. Something big, for example, is like versatility wise, like as an athlete, I don't need a LinkedIn profile, right? Mm-hmm. But over the course of a certain amount of years or whatever time it may be, I've realized how important those connections may be on the business side. Mm-hmm. Maybe just as important as those ones from Facebook, Instagram, whatever it may be, because those allow for like collaborations and whatnot.
And LinkedIn is a professional Facebook, kind of, if you will. And it's a different setting to show either peers in your sports or where those passions lie, those businesses that aren't sports, and that you are beyond what you do on the field. Like
I think
it could be your only work experience, could be, but you're learning teamwork. You're learning how to deal with conflict. Those are all things that you guys are learning inside your sport, that having that passion project or that side hustle really just shows that versatility and the fact that you're not put in a box. Like you are a real person.
Absolutely. And I think my last point to that too is like just me on that media side, for example, like to give you an actual personal example, is like connecting with people on the media side, whether it be ESPN people, whether it be Players Tribune people, Uninterrupted, people on these different social media platforms that provide media content. I know, okay, this is a passion of mine, something that I really like. So let me start connecting with these people that I see I might have connections with, or that I don't even know at all. Right.
And the more we know real life situations, the more you start thinking of things, and the more you start like making that a reality for you. Like when you start putting things into the universe and you start whatever you believe in, that's something that's going to be on your heart. Like, you got to challenge yourself and just do it. Like Definitely. It might be uncomfortable in the beginning.
Last one here is, you have an opportunity to leave a legacy. If you start a business, whatever you start, a side hustle, you have an opportunity to leave a legacy longer than yourself on this earth, right? Something long lasting, something for your family, your kids, longer than that, whatever generation. So I think for me, that was something that was passionate. Starting Extraordinary Athletes was like, okay, I want to leave something longer than me, something that Zeke, Xander, whatever, could get involved with, something that can be passed on to them. And I felt like that was really important for me. I know we only have a short amount of time on this planet, on this earth. Like, how can I leave my time longer? Like, how can I make it?
Yeah, I think it just ties back into like what we started with, where my dad always says, like, you get 9 innings in life, and if you want to make your 9 innings be, each inning is worth 11 years. Like, we've only lived right now, like, 3 innings of our lives where we have the opportunity in these short 3 innings to make a long lasting for like extra innings or whatever it's going to be, if you want, or like the next season of our lives. I think that like leaving a legacy, and Xavier's done a really good job at making sure that, he's known beyond Xavier, the baseball player, like
Yeah, I don't even like my name to be necessarily associated with. So like, I'd rather, like, now at this point, I'm like, I want extraordinary athletes. Like, I want that name, people to resonate with that name more than anything. So I think that's kind of an example of that. So just to close it off, you know, those are our 5 reasons why every professional athlete needs to have a side hustle while they're playing their sport. So I hope you enjoyed this little segment, this video for our YouTube.
I'm tired.
Jess is tired. I'm tired.
11 o'clock, like.
That's what happens when you hustle, though, right?
Yeah, hustle them kids. I mean, I'm tired. I just ate steak and awesome dessert, and now he's like, we gotta film this. But anything for the side hustle, right? This is for your side hustle. YouTube. So. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Leave comments. Let us know if you have a side hustle. Let us know what your side hustle is, or if you're passionate about something.
Yep.
Let us know.
How we can help, be involved.
Yeah, we love
collaborating.
So, yeah, like, comment, do whatever you need to do. Oh, subscribe.
Yeah, more content's coming.
Yeah, let us know what you guys want to see. But for now, deuces, get out of our house.